is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video, a brand new episode of The Atmosphere, brought to you by the Lead Sports Media. I'm Cameron Prichard, and I'm sat here all day on this fine Saturday watching basketball, man. I cannot complain about a single thing today. The hoops have been great. We've got 5 different guys averaging 30 points per game. Despite any of the injuries and mishaps that have slightly diminished the first round that we've had so far, there's been some guys dropping some absolute buckets, and I'm ready to dive into the best player in the entire playoffs today. I don't think it's going out on a limb saying Devin Booker has been the absolute best player in this playoffs, and I don't think it's close. In this video today, we're going to talk about the superstar jump that Devin Booker has been taking, because he's been doing literally everything for the Suns team against the Clippers. Like I said, it is Saturday, so I just got done watching his 30-point Game 4 performance. And in the 112-100 win for the Suns, it seems like they're starting to figure some things out. That hasn't come without Devin Booker absolutely dragging them the rest of the way. Many people have seen his consistency develop over the last 8 years, and even the last 3 years in the playoff runs he's had. This year counting in one of those 3 years, and at the age of just 26 years old, it's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it. The level of play he's been exposed to at such a young age is only going to help develop him even further into his career. But we might be seeing him hit his stride like right now. In the last 3 years of his career, so from the 2020-2021 season, he's gone from averaging 25.6 points per game, which around then was about his career average that a lot of people thought he's going to be stuck around for like the rest of his career, to increasing that point per game average every year to it being 27.8 points per game. While it's not necessarily a significant increase, which, I mean, 3 points per game is a very solid increase for sure, it's the fact that he's kept progressing each year, even though he's already had such exposure as being a scorer. But it's also come with him maintaining his efficiency. He's sitting at 47 to 50% from the field in the last 3 years, and that should catch the eye just as much as the point should. Like I said before, just having this much playoff exposure in his life seems like it's definitely paying off now, and definitely paying off in the playoffs. You all know the jokes that are made about Book. He was looked at a regular season merchant, only could score the ball, only could get buckets, didn't do anything else. He wasn't a winning player, you know all those. He's went from that to having a triple-double in the Western Conference Finals against the Clippers in 2021 to having back-to-back 40-point games in the finals in that same run. Coming into this playoffs, regardless of the Kevin Durant trade, his back was going to be up against the wall, and there's a lot of talk about his name throughout the year, which is slightly deserving after the absolute meltdown of Game 7 that I don't even want to think about against the Mavericks, which Suns fans are definitely never going to live down, but I think he definitely knew that and is going to progress through the rest of this playoffs with that in the back of his mind and try to make it a point to hoop whenever he gets the chance. They literally asked him post-game where he gets his energy to do what he's been doing. He just said he just wants to win. It's just that time of the year, he said. Like, this dude is just about hoop. It's crazy. He's got a real playoff riser mentality, if you know what I'm saying. So I want to run through some of the stats, and I really want to dive into what he's doing against this Clippers team in this round 1 series, because it's pretty great to watch. On the offensive side of the ball, it seems like the door has been absolutely open for him. The Clippers have made it a point to make KD as uncomfortable as possible and push him around whenever they try to get him into a set. They won't let him get comfortable running around screens. They're fighting over everything. But with so much attention and gravity on Kevin Durant himself, they put Book on the opposite side of the court by himself, and he's really taken advantage. He's averaging the most points per game by anyone in the playoffs. He's currently sitting at 34.7 per game. This insane outburst also comes with a crazy shooting split line of 57% from the field, 47% from 3, and 86% from the free throw line. Averaging 34 points on 23 shots per game is just crazy. Not just this, but his 3-point shot has actually really came back to regression. It seems like it's always been something he's been pretty streaky with throughout his career, but he's really developed it in the late stages recently. Once he gets this going, this really expands his game. I got the numbers here. He was shooting 4 of 23 from deep in the last 4 games before Game 2 of this series. So in perspective, it was the last 3 games of the regular season, and Game 1, he shot 4 of 23 from deep. But in the last 3 games, so Game 2, 3, and 4, he shot a crazy 9 of 20 from deep. So that's 45%, which is way better than the, 4 of 23 I read to you. So progress is progress, but like I said, once he really gets the 3-ball going, it expands the rest of his game, and play in transition, he can do the rest of it all. It's great. But this goes back to my earlier comment about playoff riser. I really feel like he's one of those guys that just when the time comes, when the spotlight's on him in the playoffs, don't even bring up Game 7, okay? I know y'all are going to do it. But guys like Jimmy Butler, guys like LeBron James, like, they just turn it on. They have a different gear they can turn it to in the playoffs, and honestly, I'm starting to think Devin Booker is one of those guys. The next part of his game I want to look at is his playmaking, because he's really putting it on display this series, and Game 4 specifically, he had some plays that were crazy. Just crazy, because it's always been a knock on on him that his passing and his vision hasn't always been there, but he's just made some clean looks this game that I just got to show you guys. So he's up to 5.5 assists per game now, and I'm going to show you some of the plays that I have from Game 4 that just show the level of ease that he has, just how much the game has come to him in his recent years. Alright, so you can already see here, Eric Gordon is looking around, he's anticipating some sort of off-ball screen coming for Book here, because that's what they do all the time for Devin Booker here. He doesn't know where it's going to come from, which then leads him to getting lost when Book makes this cut. So he ends up having to just chase Book around the screen, which is actually on the other side of the court here. So he takes the DA screen, comes off it with speed, so Zubac is forced to have to defend him. Eric Gordon is still chasing him on the backside here. So it just leaves an easy one-hand lob to DA. He knows it's going to go in. Clean look. Like I said, just one more time. You can see the ease that he has when it comes to this pass. Right off the screen in transition. 2 guys on him. Quick decision. And on the next play here, Book is bringing the ball up by himself in transition. You've got a pretty high screen by DA here to get him going in some quick downhill action. This then brings the double team because Book is kind of hot at this point. And Eric Gordon fights over the screen. There's a few options. You got DA down, rolling down into the center, but this draws the defender that's on KD in the corner. This just makes the Suns' offense so lethal, man. Draws KD's defender in the corner, and it's just one quick skip pass. Bang. Look at this. Book knew it was going in when he passed it. So here, zips it over. He starts walking away already. Go pick up your dime. KD, corner 3 is a layup. He really does stuff like this all the time, and with the gravity he creates, and now with the gravity Kevin Durant's going to create too, he has such an opportunity to make plays so much easier for other guys around him. Now this all comes with him averaging the most minutes per game by anyone in the entire playoffs also. This has been the Suns' MO for the first round so far, is just playing the starters like no other. He's sitting at a smooth 44 minutes per game, and he's taking barely a few minutes off to rest. However, when it comes to when he's on the court, he's not even getting any slack on the defensive end too, because he's picking up guys like Russell Westbrook. He's got to pick up size like Marcus Morris and Nicholas Batum. And he's also had to pick up a lot of the slack because hustle has been something the Suns have been lacking all series. So sitting at a solid 4.5 rebounds per game, 9 of those came alone in Game 4. He got 2.8 steals per game and 1.2 blocks per game. So clearly he's active hands, he's jumping, contesting shots. He's made it a point to bring effort and get rebounds, like I said, especially in this Game 4 with the 9 rebounds he had. Like I said, he's filling passing lanes, and the playmaking leap that I said he's made, it's really, he's seeing the floor different on defense too. He's just seeing the game at a whole different level. And sitting at a, I would say a probably very strong 6'5", 205 pounds. He's got the build to match up against these guys too. So he's no slight easy matchup, to say the least. And as I've been saying throughout the whole thing, he's really just been doing everything for this Suns team. The hustle, the scoring, the defense. He's really been playmaking all over the place, and it's been such a treat to watch. I said it in my last video, but he's having an all-time series. One of the best of his career, and we've already seen some of his best games of his career in this series. So it's going to be one for the books for sure. If anything, I can't wait to see where it goes from here, man. It's only up from here. I feel like they're coming back next year to the playoffs regardless of what happens. So he's going to be back. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of The Atmosphere, brought to you by the Lead Sports Media. Again, I'm Cameron Prichard. Right now I've got Bucks Heat on. I think we got Lakers Grizzlies later, so I'm excited to keep watching hoop all day. And we've got 4 more games on Sunday, which actually I think is when this video is going to be posted. So you know I'll be watching hoop then. So just so I don't forget, like, subscribe, share it to all your friends, leave any comments. Is Book really the best player in the playoffs? Yes, definitely, but leave your comment if someone else is coming for his throne. And I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.